Listen up, because most problems stem from you having emotionally reacted, and this reactive anger, this reactive outburst, this emotional response is not just an error in judgment, but is, in point of fact, the thieves pilfering your power, peace, and potential. In this audiobook, The Power of Not Reacting, How to Control Your Emotions, you'll uncover the unbreakable truth. Real power is in silent response, in this moment of transition from chaos into control, moving you from being a reactor to being a ruler of your own life, beginning now. Chapter 1. Embrace the pause, your first weapon against chaos. Listen closely. Right now, in this moment, you're facing a choice: react or pause. Most people react. They let emotions hijack their actions, and chaos follows. But you're different. You're here to learn the power of not reacting, and it starts with the pause. That's your first weapon against chaos. Pause, breathe, choose. Say it with me. Pause, breathe, choose. Think about it. When something hits you, a criticism, a setback, an insult, your gut screams to fire back. That's the emotional fire igniting. Reacting immediately fuels it. It turns a spark into a blaze. You yell, you snap, you send that message you'll regret. Why? Because impulse overrides logic. Emotions are fast. They're wired for survival, not strategy. But a deliberate pause, that's the extinguisher. It lets logic step in. It cools the heat. Pause, breathe, choose. That's the key. You don't react on autopilot. You choose your response, and that choice, it hands you control. Let me paint a picture. Imagine you're at work. Your boss tears into your report in a meeting. Humiliation burns. Your mind races. Defend yourself. Attack back. But wait. You pause. You breathe deep. You choose silence in that moment. Instead of blurting out a defensive rant, you nod, take notes, and later send a calm, professional email clarifying your points. What happens? The boss respects your composure. No escalation, no damaged reputation. In fact, it saves your career. I've seen it happen. A client of mine, a high-powered executive, faced exactly this. He reacted once before, lost a promotion, but after embracing the pause, he turned confrontations into opportunities. Pause, breathe, choose. He didn't fuel the fire, he starved it. And you can too. Stop reacting, start pausing. That's the transformation. You have a choice. Every single day, triggers lurk everywhere. Traffic rage? That's a classic. You're stuck in gridlock. Some idiot cuts you off. Horn blaring, fists clenched, your blood boils. If you react, you flip them off, speed up, risk an accident. Chaos ensues. But pause, breathe, choose. Let it go. The road clears and you're calm. React less, regret never. Say it. React less, regret never. Or take social media trolls. You post something genuine. A hater jumps in, mocking you. Your fingers itch to clap back, to defend your honor. But that's the trap. Reacting feeds the troll. It spirals into a digital war, wasting your time, spiking your stress. Pause instead. Breathe through the urge. Choose to scroll past, block if needed. React less, regret never. I've coached dozens who've broken this cycle. One woman, a blogger, used to spend hours arguing online, drained her creativity. But pausing, it freed her. She focused on real work. Her audience grew. Yours will too. Stop feeding the noise. Pause, breathe, choose. Now, let's go deeper. Daily life throws curveballs. A child's tantrum in the supermarket, screaming, kicking, drawing stares. Your instinct, yell back, "Stop it now!" But that escalates. The kid feeds off your energy. Chaos multiplies. Instead, pause, breathe, choose calm. Kneel down, speak softly. "I see you're upset. Let's breathe together. Turn conflict into teaching. One parent I know did this. Her son was a whirlwind of tantrums. Reacting made it worse. Longer meltdowns, more resentment. But pausing, it taught him self-control. Their bond strengthened. No more public scenes. That's the power. React less, regret never. You don't need to win the moment. You win the long game. You see it? Pausing disrupts the cycle of regret. Most people live in that cycle. They react, regret, repeat. But not you. You're building a new habit. Pause, breathe, choose. That's your mantra. Drill it in. How do you make it stick? Through repetitive mental drills. Start simple. Count to 10. Yes, that old trick. But it works. When anger rises, count slowly. 1, 2, 3. By 10, the impulse fades. Logic returns. Do this every time. In line at the coffee shop when the barista messes up. Count. Pause. Breathe. Choose kindness. Or in a family dinner debate heating up. Count. Don't interrupt. Let them finish. Your response? Measured. Powerful. Make it daily practice. Set reminders on your phone. Pause drill now. Visualize triggers. Imagine that work email criticizing you. Feel the sting. Then practice. Pause, breathe, choose. Role play it. Out loud, in the mirror. Build the muscle. Because here's a shocking truth. 90% of conflicts escalate from unpaused reactions. Think about that. 9 out of 10 fights, arguments, breakups, they blow up because someone didn't pause. Marriages end over snapped words. Friendships shatter from impulsive texts. Careers derail from hot-headed emails. But you can break that statistic. The pause is your power. Repeat it. The pause is your power. Don't believe me? Look at history. Leaders like Abraham Lincoln paused before responding to critics. He wrote angry letters, then paused, never sent them, saved his legacy. Or modern athletes. A basketball player fouled hard, pauses, doesn't retaliate, stays in the game, wins. The pause is your power. It's not weakness, it's strategy, it's discipline. What must you do? Stop excusing reactions. I couldn't help it. Wrong. You can. You have a choice. Start today. Identify your hot buttons. Journal them. Traffic makes me rage. Then drill the pause. Every morning, affirm, today I pause, breathe, choose. Every evening, review. Where did I pause? Where did I fail? Adjust. No mercy on yourself. This is tough love. Reacting is lazy. Pausing is warrior work. And stop doing this, justifying outbursts. They deserved it. No, you deserve better. React less, regret never. That's the shift, from victim of emotions to master of them. Feel that? The pause isn't just a tool. It's your shield, your sword against the chaos of life. You've got the weapon now. Wield it. Pause, breathe, choose. That's how you control your emotions. That's the power of not reacting. You've embraced the pause, turning impulse into intention. Now let's uncover what's setting those impulses off in the first place. Chapter 2. The hidden trap of emotional triggers. Identify and disarm them. You've got the pause now. Good. But knowing when to use it, that's where most people fail. They pause sometimes, then boom, something hits them sideways and the pause vanishes. Why? Because they never saw the trap coming. Emotional triggers, invisible landmines buried in your past, your insecurities, your habits. They explode the second they're stepped on, and suddenly you're reacting again. Not today. Today, you learn to spot them, map them, and disarm them. That's the key. Know your triggers, own your reactions. Here's the hard truth. You don't react to what's happening right now. You react to what it reminds you of. That sharp comment from your colleague? It's not really about the comment. It's about the time your father said something similar when you were 12 and it made you feel small. That sting in your chest when your partner is late? Not just lateness, it's abandonment echoing from childhood or a past relationship. Triggers are memory grenades. They pull you out of the present and throw you back into old pain. And in that split second, logic is gone. Pause forgotten. Chaos wins.
You have a choice. Stop being surprised by your own explosions. Start hunting the triggers before they hunt you. That's the transformation, from blind reactor to deliberate guardian of your peace. Let's make it concrete. Common trigger example, criticism. Someone points out a mistake. Your stomach tightens, face heats up, voice rises before you even think. Why? Because deep down, criticism equals rejection equals I'm not good enough. That old story. If you don't know it's there, you can't stop it. But once you name it, this is my old not good enough wound talking, the power shifts. The trigger loses half its strength just by being seen. Real story. A man I coached, mid-40s, successful entrepreneur, kept blowing up at home over small things. His wife would ask why the dishes weren't done, and he'd snap like she'd attacked his character. Turns out, growing up, his mother used household chores as proof he was lazy and disappointing. Every mention of chores triggered that old shame. He reacted to protect himself from feeling like a failure again. Once he identified it, wrote it down, said it out loud, "This is Mom's voice, not my wife's," the explosion stopped. He could pause, breathe, choose. I hear you. I'll handle it after this call. Marriage saved. Know your triggers, own your reactions. Another one, fear of failure. You're about to pitch an idea, launch a project, ask for a raise. Heart races, mind floods with, what if I screw up? You either freeze or overcompensate, talk too fast, get defensive, sabotage yourself. Trigger, past humiliation, a bad grade, a public mistake, a parent who only praised perfection. Disarm it by naming it. This is old failure fear, not current reality. Then pause. Breathe. Choose action anyway. One woman I worked with used to cancel important meetings because of this trigger. After mapping it, she started saying to herself before every big moment, "Fear is here, but I'm still going." She landed her biggest client. Triggers exposed lose their power. You don't need their permission to feel calm. You don't need the trigger to go away first. You just need to see it clearly. That's the discipline. How do you find them? Daily trigger audit. Every night, 5 minutes. Ask 3 questions. When did I react today? Get angry, defensive, withdrawn, anxious. What happened right before the reaction? The spark. What old feeling came up? What memory or belief got poked? The real bomb. Write it. No judgment, just facts. Do this for 30 days straight. Patterns will scream at you. Oh, I always snap when someone questions my competence. I shut down when plans change unexpectedly. That's gold. Once you see the pattern, you can intercept it. Drill this phrase every time you catch one. Triggers exposed lose their power. Say it, feel it, repeat it. Shocking statistic to wake you up. Studies on emotional regulation show that people who can name their triggers reduce the intensity of emotional reactions by up to 50% within seconds. Just naming it cuts the fuse in half. You're not weak for having triggers, you're human, but staying blind to them, that's optional and expensive. Stop doing this, pretending you're just stressed or they pushed my buttons. No, you have buttons because you haven't disarmed them yet. Own it. It's not about being perfect, it's about being aware. Start doing this. Carry a small notebook or use your phone notes. When the heat rises, pause, yes, use chapter 1, then jot one line. Trigger equals what just happened. Arrow, old wound equals the deeper feeling. Do it in real time if you can. If not, right after. Over time, the act of writing interrupts the autopilot reaction. You create space. Space equals choice. It's not about never feeling the trigger again. It's about never letting the trigger decide your behavior again. That's mastery. Real-world reinforcement. Imagine you're in traffic again. Someone cuts you off. Rage spikes. But this time, you catch it early. Trigger equals feeling disrespected. Old wound equals being overlooked as a kid. You name it. Triggers exposed lose their power. You breathe. You let the car go. No horn, no curse, just calm. React less, regret never. You arrive at your destination with energy intact instead of drained. Or at work, colleague takes credit for your idea in the meeting. Old wound, being invisible, undervalued. You feel the surge, but you audit it later. Trigger equals stolen credit, arrow old wound equals not being seen. Next time it happens, because it will, you're ready. You pause, you breathe, you choose. Great point. Building on what I presented earlier, you reclaim the narrative without exploding. Professional, powerful. You have a choice. Every trigger is an opportunity, not to fight it, to disarm it. Drill the mantra one more time. Know your triggers, own your reactions. Triggers exposed lose their power. Disarm today, dominate tomorrow. You've just pulled the curtain back on the hidden machinery driving your reactions. You're no longer operating in the dark. Now you can protect your peace from the outside world trying to steal it.
Chapter 4. Build emotional armor. Train your mind like a warrior. You've learned to pause. You've learned to spot triggers. You've learned to starve drama with silence. Solid foundation. But here's the brutal reality. Without armor, even the best techniques crack under pressure. Life doesn't stop throwing punches. Criticism, betrayal, failure, rejection, they keep coming. If your mind is soft, untrained, reactive, you'll bleed every time. You need emotional armor. Thick, forged, unbreakable. And armor isn't given, it's built. Train your mind like a warrior. That's the key. Armor up, emotions down. Think of your mind as a fortress. Right now, for most people, the walls are paper thin. A single harsh word, a disappointment, a bad day, they punch straight through. You crumble, you react, you spiral. Warriors don't let that happen. They train daily. They condition the mind the way athletes condition the body. Reps, drills, discipline. Over time, what used to shatter you barely scratches the surface. That's not magic, that's work. You have a choice. Stay fragile and keep getting hurt, or forge armor and become untouchable. It's not about never feeling pain. It's about never letting pain control you. That's the discipline. How do you build it? Daily mental training, non-negotiable, like brushing your teeth. Miss a day? Fine. Miss a week? You're back to soft. Miss a month? You're defenseless again. Warriors don't miss. Core drill number 1. Morning armor ritual, 5 to 10 minutes every day. Sit. Breathe deep. Visualize the day ahead. See the triggers coming. Someone cuts you off. Boss criticizes. Partner snaps. Plan falls apart. Feel the first emotional spike. Then see yourself pausing, breathing, choosing calm. See the emotion rise and slide off your armor like rain on steel. No penetration, no reaction. Repeat 3 times. Armor up, emotions down. Say it out loud. Feel the steel in your spine. Do this before your feet hit the floor. It sets the tone. It pre-programs the response. Real example. A fighter pilot I coached. High-stakes job, constant pressure. Used to come home wired, snap at his family over nothing. We built this ritual. Every morning in the cockpit of his mind, visualize turbulence, alarms, criticism from command. See himself staying ice cool. Armor up, emotions down. Within weeks, home became a sanctuary instead of a war zone. His wife said, "You're a different man." He was. He trained. Core drill number 2, meditation under fire. Not the fluffy kind, the warrior kind. Sit for 10 minutes. Focus on your breath. When thoughts come, worries, anger, self-doubt, don't fight them. Label them. Thinking, anger, fear, and let them pass. No reaction, no story. Just watch. This trains detachment. Emotions arise, but you don't grab them. They lose power. Do it daily. Miss it, you're training weakness. Shocking truth. People who meditate consistently reduce emotional reactivity by 40 to 60% in brain scans within 8 weeks. The amygdala, fear center, shrinks. The prefrontal cortex, logic, control, thickens. You literally rewire for calm. That's not woo-woo, that's science. Warriors use every advantage. Core drill number 3, stoic premeditation malorum. Evening ritual. Before bed, imagine worst-case scenarios for tomorrow. Car breaks down, argument with a colleague, bad news. Feel the discomfort. Then practice non-reaction in your mind. This could happen. If it does, I pause, I breathe, I choose. End with, I've already been through it in my head. It can't surprise me. This desensitizes you. When the real thing hits, it feels familiar, less intense. Armor already dented in rehearsal. No big deal. Story time. An entrepreneur lost his biggest client overnight. Old him, panic attack, blame everyone, spiral for days. New him, after months of this training, he felt the hit,
Paused, breathed, listed facts, made calls, pivoted, closed 2 new deals the next week. Why? Because he'd already lost that client in his mind 100 times. No shock, no overreaction, just forward motion. Armor up, emotions down. Stop doing this, waiting for life to be calm before you train. Life never gets calm. Train in the storm. Train when you're tired. Train when you don't feel like it. That's how armor gets forged, under pressure. Start doing this. Stack your drills. Morning visualization plus evening premeditation plus 1 10-minute meditation slot. Track it. No excuses. If you skip, own it. I chose weakness today. Then get back on. Tough love. Warriors don't negotiate with excuses. Drill the mantra every time emotion spikes. Armor up, emotions down. Train daily, react never. Another layer, physical reinforcement. Your body and mind are linked. Cold showers, intense workouts, fasting, discomfort training. Why? Because enduring physical hardship teaches the mind to endure emotional hardship. A Navy SEAL doesn't break under verbal attack because he's already suffered worse in training. Build tolerance across the board. You don't need to be a SEAL, but you do need to stop treating discomfort like the enemy. It's the forge. Lean into it. One more real-world win. A single mom, overwhelmed, used to lash out at her kids when stressed. Started the drills, morning armor, evening rehearsal, meditation. Within 3 months, her home went from shouting matches to calm conversations. Kids noticed. Mom doesn't yell anymore. She didn't become emotionless. She became unbreakable. That's the goal. You have a choice. Fragile mind equals fragile life. Armored mind equals sovereign life. Repeat it. Armor up, emotions down. Train daily, react never. Warrior mind, unbreakable calm. You've just forged the armor. Now you're ready to stop clinging to the illusion that reacting gives you control, because it doesn't. It never did. Chapter 5. The illusion of control. Let go to gain true power. You've built the armor. You can take hits now without crumbling. But here's the deeper trap, the one that keeps even armored people chained, the illusion that reacting gives you control. You think if you argue back, defend yourself, force your point, explain until they understand, fix their opinion, make them apologize, you'll regain power. Wrong. Every reaction you throw is proof you've already lost it. True power begins the moment you let go. Let go to rise. That's the key. It's not about winning the fight. It's about refusing to fight battles that were never yours. Look at what happens when you react. Someone criticizes you. You fire back to prove them wrong. Who's in control now? Not you. They are. They pulled your string and you danced. You gave them your energy, your time, your peace. You handed over the remote to your emotional state. That's not power. That's surrender disguised as strength. The illusion is seductive. If I just say one more thing, they'll see I'm right. But they rarely do. And even if they do, the cost was your calm, your dignity, your focus. You paid too much. You have a choice. Stay clinging to the illusion and stay exhausted, or release it and become untouchable. Let go to rise. Real example. A manager I worked with, sharp, competent, but micromanaged his team relentlessly. Every missed deadline, every small error, he reacted. Emails at midnight. Why wasn't this done? Explain yourself. Do better. He believed he was maintaining standards. Reality, his team resented him. Turnover spiked. Morale tanked. He was reacting to every ripple, trying to control the uncontrollable. We flipped it. New rule. When frustration hits, pause, breathe, then ask one question. What do I actually need to control here? Answer, his own response, not their perfection. He started letting small things slide, gave feedback once, calmly, then moved on. Result, his team stepped up, productivity rose, he slept better. He let go of controlling their every move and gained real leadership power. Let go to rise. Another classic, holding grudges. Someone betrayed you, friend, partner, colleague. You replay it. You fantasize revenge conversations. You bring it up years later. Why? Because letting go feels like losing, like they got away with it. But clinging keeps you prisoner. They're free, living their life. You're stuck in emotional jail, paying rent with your peace every day. Release doesn't mean approval, it means eviction. You evict them from your headspace. You don't need their apology to be free. You don't need justice from them to move forward. Let go to rise. Story that hits hard. A woman discovered her husband cheated, devastated. For months she reacted. Confrontations, tears, accusations, checking his phone, endless why loops. She thought more reaction equals more control over the pain. It only deepened the wound. Then she made the shift. She paused, she journaled the hurt once fully, then burned the page. Symbolic release. She stopped asking why, stopped monitoring, focused on her own growth. Gym, new skills, new circle. Within a year she was thriving. He, still stuck in guilt and excuses. She let go. She rose. He didn't. That's the contrast. Say it. Let go to rise. Why is this so hard? Because ego screams, if I don't react, I'm weak. If I don't defend, I lose. Ego lies. The strongest people on earth are the ones who can walk away from a fight they could win. They don't need to prove anything. Their power is internal, silent, unshakable. You don't need their permission to be at peace. You don't need to win the argument to win your life. Shocking truth. Chronic resentment and the need to control others' perceptions is linked to higher cortisol levels, weakened immune systems, and shorter lifespans. Holding on literally shortens your life. Letting go extends it. Not metaphor, biology. How do you practice release? Daily surrender drills. 1. When anger or hurt rises towards someone, write their name on a mental list of people I release today. Visualize handing them a ticket out of your mind. You no longer rent space here. Breathe. Done. 2. Use the phrase in real time. I release the need to be right. I release the need for their understanding. I release the need for justice right now. Say it quietly. Feel the weight lift. 3. Evening review. Where did I try to control today? Where can I let go tomorrow? Be ruthless, no excuses. Stop doing this, treating every disagreement like a referendum on your worth. It's not. Their opinion is their baggage, not your report card. Start doing this. Practice one and done responses. State your truth once, calmly, clearly, then drop it. No follow-ups, no chasing validation. If they don't get it, that's their problem. You're free. Drill the mantra every time you feel the pull to react. Armor up.
Chapter 6. Master Inner Dialogue. Silence the voice that betrays you. You've released the illusion of control. You're no longer chasing external validation or forcing outcomes. Powerful shift. But the biggest saboteur isn't out there anymore. It's in here. That voice inside your head, the one that whispers doubt, replays failures, catastrophizes the future, judges you harshly, fuels anger long after the moment has passed. That voice betrays you every single day. It turns small triggers into massive reactions. It keeps you stuck even when the world has moved on. Time to take command. Master your inner dialogue. Silence the traitor. That's the key. Quiet the chaos within. Here's the brutal fact. 60 to 80% of your emotional state isn't caused by what happens to you. It's caused by what you tell yourself about what happens to you. The event is neutral. Your commentary makes it hell. Someone ignores your message? Neutral. Your inner voice, they hate me. I'm worthless. Nobody respects me. Boom. Anger, shame, spiral. You didn't react to the silence. You reacted to your story about the silence. That story is optional. You write it. You can rewrite it. Or better, stop writing dramatic fiction altogether. You have a choice. Let the old voice run the show and stay enslaved, or seize the microphone and become the author of calm. It's not about positive thinking. It's about accurate thinking. Ruthless accuracy. No exaggeration, no victim narrative, just facts. Real example. A young professional kept bombing job interviews, not because of skills, because of inner dialogue. Before every interview, I'm going to screw this up. They'll see I'm a fraud. Why even try? During, self-sabotage, racing thoughts, stumbling words. After, told you so, I'm useless. Cycle of defeat. We attacked the voice head on. New rule, catch every destructive thought. Label it, replace it. Catch, I'm going to fail. Label, old fear script. Replace, I've prepared. I'll do my best. Outcome isn't my identity. He drilled it daily. First interview after? Nervous, yes, but the voice was quieter. He stayed present, landed the job. The voice didn't disappear overnight. It lost volume. It lost authority. Quiet the chaos within. Another one. Anxiety in relationships. Partner doesn't text back for hours.
Old voice, they're done with me. They're with someone else. I'm not enough. Heart races. You send needy messages or withdraw in resentment. Either way, reaction, chaos. New voice, they're busy or they need space. I'm secure either way. Pause, breathe, choose trust or detachment. No story, no drama. Relationship stabilizes because you stopped poisoning it with your own narrative. Say it with me. Rewrite your script, control your story. How do you master this? Daily surveillance and replacement. No mercy. Step 1. Thought patrol. Every hour, check in. What's playing in your head right now? Write it down if you can. Be brutal. I'm such an idiot. They're laughing at me. This always happens to me. Catch it like a criminal. Step 2. Interrogate it. Is this 100% true? Evidence for, evidence against. Most times, half-truth at best. Exaggeration. Old programming, not reality. Step 3. Replace with commander's voice. Short, factual, empowering. This is uncomfortable. I can handle uncomfortable. I don't know their intention. I control mine. Failure here isn't failure of me. Say it firmly, out loud if alone. Repeat until the old voice backs down. Drill phrase, quiet the chaos within. Master the voice, master your life. Shocking truth. Unchecked negative self-talk increases cortisol chronically, impairs decision-making, weakens immune response, and predicts depression recurrence better than life events themselves. That voice isn't harmless background noise. It's chemical warfare on your system. Silence it or suffer. Stop doing this, believing every thought is truth. Thoughts are suggestions. Bad ones are terrible suggestions. You don't have to accept delivery. Start doing this. Create a commander's playlist. 5 to 10 short, ironclad statements. Examples. I choose calm over chaos. This feeling will pass. I remain steady. Their actions are about them. My peace is about me. I am enough right now. Repeat them like boot camp chants. Morning, evening, mid-trigger. Burn them into your brain. Real-world reinforcement. Stuck in traffic again. Old voice. This is ruining my day. I'm always late. Life hates me. New voice. Traffic is traffic. I breathe. I arrive when I arrive. My mood stays mine. You stay calm. Energy preserved. Day intact. Or after criticism at work. Old voice. They think I'm incompetent. I'll never succeed. Commander. Feedback is data. I'll improve what I can. My worth isn't on trial. You take notes, you grow, no spiral, no resentment. Power. You don't need the voice to be silent forever. You need it to be disobeyed. Every time you catch it, label it, replace it, you win a battle. Wins compound. The voice gets quieter, weaker. Eventually, it becomes background static instead of the main broadcast. One more time. Quiet the chaos within. Rewrite your script. Control your story. Master the voice, master your life. You've just dethroned the inner traitor that's been running your emotional show. The conversation in your head is now yours to command. Now protect that hard-won territory from the endless external noise trying to invade. Chapter 7. Deflect external noise. Protect your peace at all costs. You've taken command of the voice inside. The inner traitor is on notice. Now the war moves outside. The world is loud. People dump their stress, their opinions, their chaos right at your feet every day. Colleagues complaining, family venting, strangers judging, social media screaming, notifications pinging like emotional grenades. Most people absorb it all. They carry everyone else's baggage on top of their own. They react. They get drained. They stay small. Not you. From this moment forward, their noise is not your burden. Deflect it. Protect your peace like it's the last fortress standing. That's the key. Deflect and protect. Here's the cold truth. You are not obligated to feel what other people feel. Their anger isn't yours to catch. Their anxiety isn't yours to fix. Their drama isn't yours to solve. When you react, when you argue back, console endlessly, take it personally, explain yourself, you're volunteering to carry what was never yours. You open the door, you let the noise in. It floods your mind, spikes your stress, steals your focus. Stop volunteering, close the gate, deflect. You have a choice. Be a sponge that soaks up every drop of external chaos, or be a shield that lets it bounce off. Shields don't apologize for being strong, they just do their job. Real example. You're at work. A coworker storms in, ranting about how everything sucks, the boss is unfair, the project is doomed. They want you to join the pity party. Old habit, you nod, sympathize, add your own complaints, get pulled into the negativity vortex. Energy gone, afternoon ruined. New habit, pause, breathe, deflect. Short, neutral response. That sounds tough. I hope it works out. Then, back to your work. No deep dive, no emotional labor, no joining the spiral. They leave, you stay calm, productivity intact, peace preserved. Another one, family. Mom calls upset again about your siblings' life choices. She unloads for 30 minutes, expecting you to fix it, take sides, feel her pain as your own. If you react fully, argue, advise, get frustrated, you end up carrying her worry for days. Deflect instead. I hear you're concerned. I love you both. I'm here if you need to talk, but I can't solve this one. Firm boundary, kind tone. Conversation ends sooner. You don't inherit her storm. Deflect and protect. Say it with me. Their noise, not my burden. Why is deflection so powerful? Because emotional energy is finite. Every time you absorb someone else's chaos, you have less for your own goals, your own calm, your own life. Chronic absorbers burn out. Chronic deflectors thrive. They stay clear-headed. They respond from strength, not depletion. It's not selfish. It's survival. It's sovereignty. Shocking truth. People pleasers and chronic absorbers have significantly higher rates of anxiety, depression, and physical illness because they're living with double the emotional load. Constant cortisol drip, weakened boundaries equals weakened health. Protect your peace or pay the price. How do you build deflection into a reflex? Practice these moves daily. 1. The neutral mirror. Reflect back what they said without adding emotion. That sounds like you're really frustrated. I can see this is important to you. No advice, no judgment, no fuel. They often stop because there's nothing to grab onto. 2. The polite redirect. Thanks for sharing that. I've got to focus on my task right now. Or, I'm not in the headspace for this conversation today. Clear, respectful, done. 3. The full exit. When deflection isn't enough, mute the chat, leave the room, end the call. I need to step away for a bit. Talk later. No explanation owing. Drill phrase every morning. Deflect and protect. Guard your peace. Own your power. Stop.
Chapter 8. The Ripple Effect of Calm. Influence others without words. You've deflected the noise. Your peace is guarded. Your energy is yours alone. Now watch what happens when that calm doesn't just protect you, it radiates. Most people think influence requires loud words, forceful arguments, dramatic gestures. Wrong. The strongest influence is silent. It's the steady presence that doesn't react, doesn't escalate, doesn't feed chaos. When you stay calm in the storm, others feel it. They adjust. They lower their volume. They mirror your steadiness. That's the ripple effect of calm. Calm ripples, chaos drowns. That's the key. Be the calm, create the change. Here's how it works. Emotions are contagious. Anger spreads like wildfire when met with anger. Anxiety jumps from person to person in panicked groups. But calm? Calm is the opposite virus. It's slower, quieter, but far more powerful. When one person holds steady while everyone else spirals, the spiral slows. People look to the calm one for cues. If they're not losing it, maybe I don't have to either. You don't preach, you don't lecture, you demonstrate. Your non-reaction becomes the model. Others borrow your composure until they grow their own. You have a choice. Keep reacting and amplify the chaos around you, or stay calm and become the eye of the storm everyone secretly wants to stand near. Calm ripples, chaos drowns. Real example. Team meeting.
Deadline missed. Boss is furious, voice rising, blaming everyone. Tension spikes. People start defending themselves, pointing fingers, voices overlapping. Pure chaos. One person stays silent at first, then speaks once, low and even. Let's list what we know and what we can fix next. No defensiveness, no counterattack, just calm facts. The room shifts. Boss lowers his volume. Others stop interrupting. Solutions start forming. That one calm voice didn't argue, it anchored. The ripple spread. Meeting ends productive instead of explosive. I've seen this exact dynamic in boardrooms, classrooms, family dinners. The calm person doesn't win the argument, they win the atmosphere. Another one. Home life. Kids fighting, screaming, toys flying. Parents usually jump in, yelling louder to be heard, escalating the volume. Chaos doubles. Instead, one parent pauses, sits on the floor, breathes visibly, speaks softly. I see you're both upset. Let's breathe together for a second. No shouting, no threats, just calm presence. Kids pause, they mimic the breathing. Volume drops. Within minutes, they're talking it out or playing again. The parent didn't force peace, they modeled it. The ripple reached the children faster than any lecture ever could. Say it with me. Be the calm, create the change. Why does this work so deeply? Mirror neurons. Your brain is wired to copy the emotional states of people around you. When you react with anger to anger, you confirm it's the appropriate response. When you meet anger with calm, you offer a different template. Over time, people around you start defaulting to your frequency, not because you demanded it, because you lived it. That's real leadership. That's real influence. No permission required, no raised voice, just unbreakable calm. Shocking truth. Studies on emotional contagion show that a single calm individual in a high-stress group can reduce collective anxiety levels by 20 to 40% within minutes, more effectively than verbal reassurance or authority commands. Your presence is medicine when it's steady. Your reactivity is poison when it's volatile. How do you amplify the ripple? Practice silent modeling every day. 1. In conflict, be the last to raise your voice or never raise it. Let others exhaust their energy while you hold steady. They'll eventually match you or leave the field. 2. In stress, slow your movements, speak slower, breathe visibly deeper. People unconsciously sync to your physiology. Heart rates drop, tension eases. 3. In daily interactions, when someone vents, don't match their intensity. Nod slowly, maintain eye contact, respond with measured tone. Your calm invites theirs. Drill phrase every morning. Calm ripples, chaos drowns. Spread calm, conquer chaos. Stop doing this. Thinking influence means being the loudest or most forceful. That's noise, not power. The loudest person often loses control fastest. Start doing this. Intentionally place yourself in charged situations to practice. Volunteer for the tough meeting. Step into family tension. Be the calm anchor on purpose. Track how the room changes. You'll see the ripple in real time. Real-world reinforcement. Argument with partner. They're heated, words flying. Old you matches heat, escalates. New you pauses, lowers your voice even more and says softly, I hear you're upset. I'm here when you're ready to talk. Then silence. Walk to another room if needed. Most times within 20 minutes they calm down and approach you differently, quieter, more open. Your non-reaction pulled them out of the spiral. Ripple complete. Or at work, toxic colleague tries to provoke you in front of others. Snide remark. You smile faintly, nod, continue your point without addressing the jab. Group sees you unshaken. Colleague looks petty by comparison. They stop trying. Ripple. Respect grows. Influence strengthens. No words wasted. You don't need to convince anyone. You demonstrate. They feel the difference. They follow. One more time. Calm ripples, chaos drowns. Be the calm, create the change. Spread calm, conquer chaos. You've turned your inner calm into outer influence. You're no longer just surviving chaos, you're quietly reshaping it. Now prepare for when the storm actually hits hard. When life delivers real pain, real loss, real setbacks. That's where non-reaction becomes stoic resolve. Chapter 9. Overcome setbacks with stoic resolve. Turn pain into power. You've learned to ripple calm outward. You influence without force. Now, life tests you for real. The big hits arrive. Job loss, betrayal, illness, death of a loved one, dreams shattered. These aren't little triggers or daily noise. These are earthquakes. Most people collapse here. They react with despair, rage, endless why me, victim loops, self-destruction. They let pain define them for years. You will not. You will meet pain with stoic resolve. You will feel it fully and then turn it into fuel. Pain passes, power remains. That's the key. Stoic resolve, endless power. The Stoic truth is simple and brutal. You do not control what happens. You control only how you meet it. The event is given. Your response is chosen. Reacting, wailing, blaming, freezing, numbing, lashing out hands the power to the event. Resolve takes it back. Resolve says, this hurts. I accept it. Now what can I build from it? No denial, no drama, just clear-eyed acceptance followed by deliberate action. That shift turns suffering into strength. You have a choice. Let setbacks break you or forge you. Stoic resolve, endless power. Real example from history to anchor this. Marcus Aurelius, Roman emperor, faced plague, war, betrayal from family, constant physical pain. He could have raged, despaired, abused power. Instead, he wrote in his journal, Meditations, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." He didn't react to every loss with emotion. He met each with discipline. He governed justly, loved his people, stayed calm. His resolve didn't erase pain, it transcended it. Centuries later, we still read his words for strength. Pain passed, power remains. Modern story. A man loses his business, years of work gone in months due to market crash. Old reaction pattern, depression, alcohol, blame economy, government, partners, isolation. New path with stoic resolve. He feels the grief fully, cries, mourns the dream, then pauses, breathes, asks, what is still in my control? Skills, network, health, attitude. He lists them, starts small, consulting gigs, side projects, daily discipline. Within 2 years, new venture bigger than the old one. The setback didn't destroy him, it refined him. He turned pain into power. Say it with me. Pain passes, power remains. How do you build this resolve? Daily stoic practices, non-negotiable when the storm hits and before. 1. Voluntary discomfort, preparation, cold showers, fasting, waking early, physical challenges. Why? To train the mind that discomfort isn't danger. When real pain arrives, it's familiar. You don't panic, you endure. 2. Negative visualization, premeditatio malorum. Every evening imagine losing what you love, job, health, loved ones. Feel the sting briefly, then affirm, if this happens, I will still act with virtue, I will still move forward. This robs future setbacks of surprise. They hurt, but they don't blindside. 3. Journal the dichotomy of control. When setback hits, write 2 columns. What I cannot control, the event, others' actions, outcomes. What I can control, my effort, my integrity, my next step. Focus only on column 2. Ignore column 1. This cuts emotional waste. Drill phrase every time pain rises. Stoic resolve, endless power. Pain passes, power remains. Shocking truth. People who practice Stoic principles show lower rates of PTSD after trauma, faster recovery from loss, and higher life satisfaction long-term. Acceptance plus action beats resistance plus rumination every time. Science confirms what the ancients knew. Stop doing this, treating pain as proof life is unfair or you're cursed. That story keeps you stuck. Pain is neutral. Your interpretation may...
Chapter 10. Sustain the non-reactive life. Make it your permanent reality. You've walked the full path. You pause before chaos takes root. You disarm triggers before they explode. You starve drama instead of feeding it. You forged emotional armor, released the illusion of control, silenced the betraying inner voice, deflected external noise, rippled calm into the world around you, and met real pain with unbreakable stoic resolve. That's not a collection of tricks, that's a new identity. Now the final discipline, Don't let it fade. Don't treat this like a temporary detox. Make non-reaction your default state, your permanent reality. Non-reactive now, empowered forever. That's the key. Commit to calm, claim your destiny. Here's the hard reality most people miss. Transformation dies without maintenance. You can read every chapter, feel the fire, swear you'll change, and then life gets busy. Stress piles up. Old habits creep back. One weekday becomes two. One reaction becomes a pattern. The armor rusts. The ripples stop. You slide back into the reactive life you fought so hard to escape. That's not failure of technique, that's failure of system. You need rituals, accountability, reminders, consequences. You need to engineer your environment so non-reaction is the path of least resistance. Anything less, and entropy wins. You have a choice. Celebrate the journey and coast, or lock in the gains and build a life where reacting becomes the exception, not the rule. Non-reactive now, empowered forever. How do you make it stick for life? Build the 4 pillars of sustainability. Pillar 1, daily non-negotiable rituals. Morning, 5-minute armor-up visualization, plus commander's affirmations. Pause, breathe, choose. Armor up, emotions down. Let go to rise. Midday, 1 60-second thought patrol. Catch, label, replace any destructive inner dialogue. Evening, 3-minute review. Where did I react today? Where did I hold steady? 1 win, 1 lesson, 1 commitment for tomorrow. Do these every single day, no exceptions. Track in a simple notebook or app. Streaks matter. Break a streak, reset with 0 self-pity, just restart. Rituals compound, miss them and the whole system weakens. Pillar 2, environmental design. Remove friction from calm. Phone, notifications off except critical. Social media apps in a folder called noise, open only with intention. Relationships, set clear boundaries up front. I don't engage in venting sessions after 9 p.m. I won't discuss politics. People respect clarity. Triggers, identify your top 3 recurring ones from Chapter 2 audits. Create preemptive buffers, e.g., leave 10 minutes early to avoid traffic rage. Mute group chats that drain you. Make reacting harder than not reacting. Design wins. Pillar 3, accountability and consequences. Tell one trusted person, I'm committing to non-reactive living. Hold me accountable. Weekly check-in. How many times did I react this week? What triggered it? Self-consequence. If you catch yourself reacting unnecessarily, enforce a small penalty. 10 push-ups. Donate $10 to a cause you dislike. Skip dessert. Pain reinforces. Reward consistency. After 30 clean days, treat yourself meaningfully. New book, solo walk, something that feeds growth. Accountability turns intention into identity. Pillar 4, lifelong learning loop. Revisit this material every 90 days. Read 1 chapter aloud. Redo the audits. Refresh drills. Life evolves. New triggers appear. Old ones resurface. Stay vigilant. Read Stoic texts monthly. Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, Seneca, even 1 page. Their words keep the fire alive. Join or create a small accountability circle. People committed to the same path. Share wins and slips. Iron sharpens iron. Real story of permanence. A woman transformed after years of explosive anger. Divorce almost happened. She implemented every pillar. Daily rituals, boundary redesign, weekly accountability with her sister, stoic reading habit. 10 years later, she's still calm under fire. Her kids say, Mom never loses it anymore. Her marriage healed. She started a small coaching side business teaching others. The non-reactive life isn't something she does, it's who she is. Non-reactive now, empowered forever. Say it with me. Build the habit, break the chains. Shocking truth, habits that last aren't built on motivation, they're built on systems. 95% of people who try big changes revert within a year because they rely on willpower alone. Systems outlast feelings. You don't need to feel like staying calm, you need structures that make calm inevitable. Stop doing this, treating non-reaction as a mood or phase. I'll be calm when life calms down. Life never calms down. Stop romanticizing old reactive patterns. That's just how I am. No, that's how you used to be. Start doing this. Treat non-reaction like breathing, automatic, essential, non-optional. When you slip, and you will, don't spiral into shame. Analyze coldly what failed in the system. Fix it, move on. Progress, not perfection. Drill the final mantra every single day. Non-reactive now, empowered forever. Commit to calm, claim your destiny. Imagine your life 5 years from now if you lock this in. Fewer regrets, deeper relationships, sharper focus, stronger health, quiet confidence that unnerves people who still live reactively. You walk into rooms and the energy shifts, not because you speak loudly, but because you don't flinch. That's not a fantasy. That's the compound interest of consistent non-reaction. You've done the work, now do the maintenance. Forever. One last time, non-reactive now, empowered forever. Build the habit, break the chains. Commit to calm, claim your destiny. You now hold the complete blueprint, not just to survive emotions, to master them, to rule your inner world and influence the outer one without ever raising your voice. Most problems start because you reacted emotionally. From this day forward, most problems end because you chose not to. Your challenge right now, today, pick one pillar from this chapter, implement it before you sleep tonight, track it tomorrow, then the next day, and the next. No more waiting, no more someday. Your empowered future isn't coming, it's being built in this moment. You have traveled through the power of not reacting. Learn to stop, disarm your triggers, kill drama, put on armor, strip away illusions, master your inner voice, deflect noise, ripple calm, wear stoic resolve, and sustain this unbreakable habit. Because most problems start when you react emotionally, but true mastery ends them before they begin. Remember, react less, live more. Pause to prevail. Control your emotions or they control you. It's that simple, that urgent, that transformative. Now here's your challenge. Today, right this minute, pick one trigger and pledge to pause before it strikes. Do this every single day. Track your wins and watch your life soar. Start now, no excuses, because your empowered future demands it.